The red to the middle looks the favourite. And he's got it. And it was a poor safety from Ding Junhui, although it was a good pot from Judd Trump.
His father Steve, he's watching on. He was we saw him yesterday in the players box. Steve got Judd into snooker when Judd was just 6. He went to the club with him, fell in love with the game almost immediately,
4,
and was very quickly winning tournaments. Just seemed to have a natural ability. His dad is a long-distance lorry driver. And drove young Judd all round the country as a junior to play in all the tournaments, particularly the ones run by the late Malcolm Thorne in the East Midlands.
Well, he's just overrun that one.
8.
Now, can he get to that far red, the one above the black? Just had a little bit too much right-hand side on the cue ball. Well, he could get to it. And fearless Judd
9.
just got down and knocked it in. Not sure where the cue ball was going to land, but again, this is a very tough one if he decides to take it on. So close. Not left anything easy though for Ding Junhui. Both winners, these two players, not scared of winning. And I know it's a strange thing to say, but sometimes you get great players that get to the point where they can win, and then something holds them back. Not these two. It wasn't easy, that pot. And he can get to it. Yes, played the white ball just a little bit further over so he wouldn't leave anything, but didn't quite get that pace on the cue ball. Could have been a better kiss. Yes, he's got the black, but he'd probably have to play that with the rest. Could have done with missing the yellow.
6.
And that's unfortunate. Well, he's thinking about the double, and if he left the cue ball on the cushion, he'd be on the black, and he wouldn't have left an easy shot for Ding Junhui. Yeah, well worth taking on.
6.
They're always looking for a way to pot a ball. At the same time, it wasn't reckless. He hid the red ball over the yellow pocket. Excellent shot. Lots of left-hand side on the cue ball. It's just overrun. And although he has got the black, there's nothing, can't see a red for it, except the long one. Well, he tried to create an angle that wasn't there then.
One.
And he's been rather fortunate if he's covered these reds. No, he hasn't.
One.
So Judd Trump in again. If he were to win the title, he would be the second youngest champion, just a few months younger than Stephen Hendry, who was 21 when he won in 1990. He's the youngest semi-finalist for 15 years. Ronnie O'Sullivan was 20 in 1996. Well, that didn't work out as planned.
No, got too much done into the cue ball. Wanted to come past the red, find the gap between those reds. Still has a long red on to the baulk corner, but by no means easy.
Judd Trump.
Well, every now and then he seems to have a rush of blood. And it just looked like he played that at a little bit too much pace.
A little frustration maybe at not getting position.
Yes, nicely played. There's bound to be a few nerves in this opening frame. Both players know how important it is.
Four.
6-3 or 5-4. It's a massive difference inside the player's head. Well, that was a really very, very good shot from Ding Junhui, potting that blue in the middle at that speed, and he deserved to be on this red to the left corner.
Yes, Ding has shown terrific fighting qualities at this championship. Let's not forget he was 12-9 down to Stuart Bingham in the second round. Could easily have lost. Mark Selby came back at him from 10-6 down to 10-all. Ding fought really hard to come through 13-10 in the quarterfinals.
17.
And he knows he's got to fight against this lad because Judd Trump can knock them in from anywhere. So when Ding gets his chances, clearly he's determined to try and make the most of them.
$18.
Well, just got a little bit too
25.
much screw into the cue ball there. A bit too much pace.
$26. $33. $34.
We know that Ding started his career with those terrific wins, China Open, UK Championship. Then he had a little setback at the Masters against Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think that did him good because,
Sure.
yes, he went through a rough patch, but it reminded him, A, how difficult the game is, and B, how much work you have to do to ensure that you have more good days than bad days, and that's what he's done. And it's hardened him up, I think. It was his first experience, really, of losing. He didn't like it. Much prefers winning.
No.
I know it's hard to believe.
41.
Well, he's not going to need that bad red on the cushion. Well,
48.
I've miscounted. So important to stay high
49.
on this black, and that looks just about right. Well, he's left this a little far away. I'm pretty
56.
sure he could have stunned that in and got closer to the red. So, this red. And that's a good shot. Can only tie now, Judd Trump. It takes good nerve to knock those in. And that rush of blood from Judd Trump with the red in the balk area, I felt that he could have run that in more controlled, chose to stun it in at 100 miles an hour.
66.
Yes, I mentioned Alex Higgins, and of course he was a great player who understood that snooker is also not just a sport but about entertainment. But one of his great drawbacks
59.
was sometimes he would start to showboat a little and play up to the crowd, and it certainly cost him here against Cliff Thorburn in 1980. And if you watch any footage of his final 2 years later, he didn't do that. He played really hard snooker against Ray Reardon.
73.
Not saying Trump's doing that, but maybe just needs to rein it in a little bit.
78.
So the first frame to Ding, and as I say, wasn't happy yesterday at the end of the session, felt he wasn't playing well, but this has been a great break from him to get him back within one.
84.
I think this semi-final is going to be